Hey guys, it's Riley or else Thrifted over on Instagram and Poshmark, and today I'm here with a September sales video. So this is going up like 2 weeks into October, but the information's probably still relevant, so I'm gonna share. Today I'm going to be sharing my top 11 sales. It would be like 10, but I have 2 that are a tie, so top 11 sales and 2 dud sales. If you don't know who I am Riley, a full-time reseller over on Poshmark, really only Poshmark, and so we're only talking about Poshmark today. If you watch my August sales video, I did it the same format as this one, and I was like, September's gonna be better. September's always one of my best months, and it wasn't better. I will say I was pretty busy with dog sitting stuff. I do that on the side, and so I listed less than I wanted to, and so far in October I've also listed less than I want to, so I gotta get on top of that so I can make more. So my October can be better than my September and my August. But September gross sales were a few $100s less than August, and honestly I don't even know what that number is to share with you guys because I'm filming on my phone and I don't know how to figure it out, look it up on my computer. So I'm going to share my top 11 sales, and they're not going to be my highest profits. They're going to be what sold for the most, because I feel like that's more valuable information to show you guys what is selling high. So I did not have that many sales over $100. Last month I had many more, but we're just going to get into the top 10. So my highest sale, number 1 sale in September, was this McDougal gown, and if you saw the last video, there were lots of McDougal gowns in that video. I don't think I've actually sold one in October, I don't know, maybe, but I mean, if I get 1 or 2 of these a month, it definitely helps boost my sales. McDougal, I say McDougal, that's just how my brain works, but it's a formal wear brand. This one is actually Aina for McDougal, which one of my friends over on Instagram let me know that is his daughter's line within his dresses. This sold for $203, and I actually was expecting it to sell for less, so I'm pretty happy with that. I think someone offered me that. It gave me an earnings of $162.40, and I paid around $40 for this dress at last chance, so I made about $120 profit, which I'm super happy with. I would have been happy with, you know, less than that because I was expecting it to sell for less. Anyway, if you don't know what last chance is, I have tons of those videos on my channel where I explain, but that is where I get all my McDougal dresses from. I know I've seen people get them in liquidation, as well as I've seen people thrift them, so it's not something that you have no chance of ever finding. It's just gonna be, you know, you have to check the formal wear section of wherever you're shopping to see if you can find one. My second highest sale of September is also this McDougal dress, and this one sold for less, almost $100 less. This one sold for $135. I feel like this one might have had flaws. Let me check. So this dress, I'm looking at my pictures now, had some like, looks like very faint dirt marks and like some punctures from security tags in it. So I still sell gowns flawed. I have one that's actually major flawed that I need to get listed and just sell it for pretty cheap, but this one was still very wearable. The very faint marks I'm sure you could take to a dry cleaner or wear as is. And I mean, in my, like, gowns are so big and poofy. If it's like a faint dirt mark, people aren't paying attention to that. Not necessarily poofy, this one was just poofy. Anyway, this one, as I said, sold for $135. My earnings are $108, and I think I paid around $40 for this one as well. So I only made about a $60 profit on this one. And for the amount of space this dress took up, because it had tulle and it was pretty poofy, I don't know if I'd pick it up again to make a $60 profit. If I thought I could make over $100, I'd probably be willing to store it. So maybe if I got it for like $10 to $20, but for $40, I don't know if I want to dedicate the space again for a $60 profit. Anyway, nonetheless, I'm happy with the sale. It's a very good Cinderella dress. Maybe someone is planning ahead to be Cinderella for Halloween. My next 2 sales are both over $100, and they're both from the same brand, which you probably saw as well if you watched the last video. So for $125, I sold this Hill House dress, and Hill House is, I think, a newer brand, kind of a preppy style. they have a pretty good following. All the ones I have in my closet got so many likes and they've sold relatively well. As I said in the last video, I picked up these Hill House dresses from a sample sale in Chicago, but I've seen people post that they found them thrifted on Instagram. I would love to thrift some someday, but I did pay up for these. I paid for all the Hill House dresses I picked up, I paid like $33. So I made slightly under a $60 profit, which is like, is that tripling my money? I think doubling, no, tripling, no, doubling. Tell me down below, did I double or triple my money on this Hill House dress? If my gross was $100 and I profited like slightly under 60 and I paid 33, doesn't matter. I was happy with this profit, and I think this is potentially the last dress in this print I had, which cool, moved it out. I still have some Hill House pieces I need to move, so hopefully they'll be in videos soon. Happy it sold for over 100. So the next Hill House dress actually sold for just $100, and $100 is kind of the bare minimum I'm willing to take on these dresses right now. I've had them listed since about July. I'll be willing to come down more eventually, but right now I have been able to get them to sell for $100 minimum. So I'm pretty sure I got an offer on this for $100, because for this velvet style I've been sending closer to like $108 offers, so like an $8 difference, but it sold for $100. And this one I feel like took slightly longer to sell because this is definitely more of a fall winter style. So I think this is the second one of this style to sell, and I might have one left in like an XXL. I made about slightly under $50 on this dress. You know, I was hoping for slightly more, but again, can't be too mad at it. It sold for $100. Now we're getting into items that sold under $100. And so this first one was super shocking to me. It is from the brand Keel James Patrick, and they have like this cozy cabin line, and it sold for $81 in like 2 hours. I was shocked. So I found this thrifting, and this video is not actually the thrifting video for this is not actually up on my channel yet. That's still one I need to edit and get posted. But I found this thrifting and I was having a super bad day, and this looked interesting to me, and I actually didn't search the right thing. I searched like cozy cabin sweater, and so I found some things that came up under that. I was like, okay, maybe it can sell for like 30 bucks. And then I realized I had searched the wrong thing when I got home, and I was like, wait, this brand, they make like holiday themed sweaters. Obviously this one's fall print, so when I got it I was like, I need to get this listed right away. But they have like a Thanksgiving themed one that goes for over 100. They have some Christmas ones. I don't know about their more basic sweaters, but like if you find a themed holiday one, like pick it up and then check comps to see if it's a super sought after one that will sell for over 100. But this was a great sale. Like any sale that sells for $81 on an offer in 2 hours, and she sent like a $9 off offer. I'm pretty sure this listed at $90. So super glad to move it out. Also got like multiple likes right away. Yeah, so that's a Bolo brand. I don't know how often you'll come across it, but it's one to keep a lookout for, especially in the holiday season. Next up, I grabbed these Hokas, and I'm sure you know what Hokas are these days. Everybody wears them. Like I'm the only girl in my family out of 4 who does not wear Hokas. I just don't think they're that cute. Don't come after me. Anyway, I grabbed these at Last Chance again. I paid $30 for these, and they sold for $70, but they sold in like under 2 weeks. I was hoping to get maybe closer to like 80 or 85 based on comps, but this person kept countering with me at 70, and finally I was like, take them, whatever. Like, fast sale, I made a profit. I only made a $26 profit because after fees my earnings were $56, but they flipped really quick for a $26 profit. I didn't even have to put them away in inventory. They were still sitting from where I photographed them, so happy with that. And I would rather sell them, make a $26 profit, than hang on for like who knows how long more for maybe $10 more in profit. Next up is another Last Chance find. It is these Isabel Marant sunglasses. I picked these up for $12 at Last Chance, and I know a lot of these sales are Last Chance finds, but you can find these brands thrifting. I've never found Isabel Marant, but I have found Hoka's thrifting. I mean, the sweater was thrifted. It's just, you can find them, they're out there. Anyway, these sunglasses I picked up for $12. They sold on an offer for $60. I had them listed at like $93, and someone sent me a $60 offer. I accepted that. My earnings are $48. So I made a $36 profit, which is a pretty good profit. I when I sell sunglasses, I never have the case. And I've had people ask me, like I sold a pair of Tom Ford sunglasses a couple months ago, and they're like, oh, I'm gonna need to like get a new case, so can you accept a lower offer? Your choice whether you want to or not. This one did not have the case and they sold fine in a couple weeks. Also, I know I sell sunglasses year round, so maybe they seem like a summery thing, but I would, if you find a good pair, pick it up year round. Okay, here is another thrifted find. It is this ASOS dress and it sold for $60. Now ASOS, like, don't go run out and buy all the ASOS you find. Most of it is not worth this much. I could just tell when I picked this dress up that it was special. I thought maybe it was gonna sell for $40, but I did some comps. I saw like there weren't really any listed, you know, always supply and demand. And so if I have the only one listed, even if there's multiple listed, but you have the only one of that size, you can list it, you know, determine your price, like put it a little higher. So I think I had this listed at like 80 something. I'm pretty sure someone sent me a $60 offer. I paid $10 for this at Goodwill, giving me a $38 profit, which I'm happy with, especially for a thrifted find. And I mean, $10 thrifted is paying up for me, but oh, also I didn't say this was new with tags. And I used a lot of like keywords, Easter, pastel, wedding, you know, Victorian. It kind of had a Victorian style, antique. So I believe this was a full price sale. And what number is this? This is number 9 out of 11. So this was a full price sale. It did come from Last Chance, but I thrift this brand all the time. It is Becca by Rebecca Virtue. They make swimsuits, and specifically this crocheted style does really well. Now, not all of them are gonna do fantastically. They have different style crochet ones. I think this is the one I've sold for the most. It sold full price at $52. I was expecting to get more like $39, $40 for it, but I'll take $52 as a full price sale. Swimsuits also are something I sell year round because, like, say in November you're going on a Thanksgiving vacation somewhere warm, like it's gonna be hard to go to like Aerie, American Eagle, Forever 21, pick up a swimsuit. They're just really not really in stores, like even Target. So people have to turn online and people buy swimsuits online. I'm assuming this one had the hygienic liner, but they sell without the hygienic liner as well. They sell used. Okay, next sale sold for $50, and it is sale number 10 and our sale number 11 also sold for $50, and they're both Last Chance pickups. But this first $50 sale are these Jeffrey Campbell wedges, and they're like a super chunky platform wedge, very on trend, you know, with like Y2K style stuff. I actually priced these really high, checking comp, like I wouldn't normally, I priced them at like $85, which isn't, I don't normally price my Jeffrey Campbell that high, but that's kind of like what comps were telling me. And you know, they were sitting for a couple months, I think mostly throughout the summer. So I was sending lower offers, more like $40, which is like half off of what I had them priced at. And then finally someone sent me a $50 offer and I accepted that. So I'm sure if I priced them at $50, I would have gotten an offer for $30, but I did what comps told me to do and held out and got the profit of, oh, I didn't even tell you, my earnings are $40. I'm assuming I paid $6 for these, so pretty good profit on these of over $30, $35. Not all Jeffrey Campbell is created equal. I'd say like the modern funky styles are gonna do the best. But I just sold a pair of Jeffrey Campbell like last week that were pretty basic for $50 as well. Just make sure you're checking comps on the exact style, because some styles are going to be more sought after than others, especially newer ones. But okay, and my last top sale before we get into some duds are these Ugg slippers, and these sold for $50 as well, which I also grabbed at Last Chance. I feel like I shouldn't have grabbed these because I sat on them for a long time. I think I picked them up in the spring. We were kind of going out of the season, but when I grabbed these ones, I specifically checked the print to see how the print was doing, and this print was selling pretty well, but there weren't a lot listed. So again, you know, supply demand. I'm pretty sure I picked them up for like $19. So I about doubled my money here. This is doubling, right? Wait, right? Because my earnings are 40. Take out my cost of goods and I made a $21 profit. So I don't really want to spend $20 to double my money. But like I experimented, you know, I thought they'd probably sell for above 60, like between 60 and 70. They sat for a while. I took 50 and I'm happy with my $21 profit. Okay, those were my top sales. So my top sales were not as good as our my god, no. My top sales were not as good as August. If you want to see more high dollar sales, I'd go check out that video because almost all my top sales were over $100. Honestly, September was kind of moving out a lot of bad inventory for cheap, which is what we're gonna look at now. I only picked out 2 bad sales, but just know I had a lot of sales like this. So we're gonna start first with this girl's North Face coat. And both of these bad sales that I'm going to share with you, I actually still profited on. So this sold for $9. I get an earnings of $6.05. And I grabbed this at the bins. And my cost of goods on this trip was actually higher. I don't really remember why. Usually I would have paid like about $1 for this, but my cost of goods to say was about $3. So I only made a $3 profit. But anyway, the reason this sold so bad, I thought this would be like a $20 sale. When I got home, I realized it was all stained. Like the cuff, it was girls, so it's like the cuffs were stains. There were some stains on the interior and the back neckline, but like, you know, the front was fine. So I saw it at the bin. I'm like, oh cool, North Face coat. Anyway, I was happy it still sold, and I got my money back and I doubled my money. I mean, it's a $3 profit, but you know, it didn't get thrown out. And then I got a nice love note where someone said her daughter may want it, but if not, she'll donate it to a local shelter or church group. So hopefully someone can use this coat this winter, and I made $3. Probably wasn't worth the work at all, but I did. I've said this in other videos. I'm someone who pretty much will always sell an item to try and recoup my money, if not profit $1 or $2 rather than donate it. It's your decision whether it's worth your time or not for that. Okay. The last sale we're going to discuss today was this $8 Franco Sardo sale. This was a bad pickup. I got these at the bins. I probably paid $1.20 for them. That's usually what my shoes come out to at the bins, like an average cost maybe $1.50. I mean, I had these through the summer. I think I might have actually listed them in winter because I do list stuff year round, and they didn't sell for summer. And I was like during summer sending out like $12 offers because I knew when I picked them up they were bad. They're like out of style, kind of, not like probably from like 2015. Honestly, I feel like I had these in 2015, 2014. But somebody accepted an $8 offer from me, giving me an earnings of $5.05. Let's just say I paid $1.50. I made like what, 3 something. I still profited. I was glad to see them gone, and I moved a lot of bin shoes for around the $8, $9, $10 to $12 mark this month. Stuff that was just bad. When I'm at the bins, I'm like, Franco Sardo sandals sold. Like, I bought them. I will sell these. And you know, just because you're getting it for cheap doesn't mean it's good. Like, yeah, I profited $3 on this, but that was not worth at least the 20 minutes I invested into this item, from potentially cleaning, photographing, and listing to make $3. No. That is it for this what sold on Poshmark video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Feel free to leave comments on your most exciting high dollar sale and also your worst sale. I would love to know what not to pick up. And remember, just because you're at the bins does not mean something that is going to profit you $3, $4 is worth your time. Alrighty guys, that is it from me today. If you like reseller content, feel free to subscribe, and if you give this video a thumbs up, you will be recommended more reseller content like this. Not necessarily my videos, just reseller content. That's how the YouTube algorithm works. I will see you guys in another video soon. Goodbye.